Hello.
We're here. Hello. Happy New Year, everybody.
Again, Happy New Year again.
If you weren't here on our Tuesday stream and you're joining us today, we're here again. This is the month of events. And this one, I am the host and Sam is the presenter, which is super cool. I'm excited for. What are we talking about today, Sam?
We're going to be talking about membership managers. And it's going to be so I have a presentation for you guys. We're going to go into what a membership manager can do for you, how to find the right membership manager, and then I'm going to demo our membership manager add-on that we have, as well as showing you how you can change the capabilities of the membership manager, whether you want them to do more or less for you in your WordPress.
And we don't have too many pre-submitted questions, but I will be sharing some links while Sam's going with anything that she's talking about that will help. They'll be in chat. If you're here and in chat and you want to say hello, post a comment there. If anything comes up that's a question, we find a natural place to pause. Sam can address that during that time. We know most of you are building your site for yourself, so you might be a one-person operation, but that's not how it stays forever. As you get successful, you realize that you're being torn in all these different places. So really what we're talking about with Sam is like, when you've gotten to that point that you want to alleviate some of that, what can someone else support you while you go create that knowledge, use all that knowledge to build your membership and manage your community and do the things that created this business for you in the first place. So hi, everyone. Thank you all for saying hi. I think we're ready. I can add your stream if you're good to go, Sam.
Yeah, you can add the stream. And just to add to what Kim is saying about your team growing, one thing that we do at PM Pro, as small of a team as we are, with I think less than 15 people, is we create standard operating procedures, SOPs, for just about everything we do. That way, if and when we were to grow outside of our less than 15 team members, we're able to say, here's the process, here's how we want it done, go handle it. And that is already set in stone and done. And so it's really good before you even grow to have an idea of how you want things done and written down. So it's really just like, here you go. Like, I'm handing you the directions. And it makes a smooth transition for everybody. But with that, let's talk about membership management. So for today, we're going to talk about the tasks for a membership manager. Within this, a lot of the stuff that I'm going to talk about is aspects of managing a membership site that I do internally for Paperships Pro. So you'll kind of get an insight as to everything not everything I do, but a good chunk of what I do. Finding and hiring a membership manager. And then again, we're going to do a demo for you on our membership manager role add-on and how to assign that to somebody. Okay, so order management. Obviously, when a membership checks out, when a member checks out, you have orders, and there's going to be different aspects of the orders that are going to need management. For the most part, we want it to be automated and everything just kind of flows the way it needs to go. But there are some times where you're going to need a little bit of extra manual support. So different aspects of order management, token orders, or cart abandonment. We actually just launched a cart abandonment add-on recently. Kim can also share the link to that one. And maybe in Q2, we'll do a demo and chat about cart abandonment. But so when someone goes to checkout but does not actually complete the checkout, that is a token order status, or known as cart abandonment. So your membership manager could handle those token orders and try to win back that person who did not complete checkout. Failed payments is another one. Not everybody is aware of when their credit card expires, or maybe a PayPal subscription, a recurring subscription, didn't go through for some reason. you can have your membership manager follow up via email on those failed payments and say, hey, did you want to update your payment information so you can continue our membership? If not, you're going to lose XYZ of your content or your whatever your offerings are. Refunds. I know that's not something that you want to be thinking about, but people do ask for refunds. And that is a manual process to go into the order and refund that member, cancel their subscription if they have a subscription attached to it. And then reporting. They would have access to any reports that you may want to keep track of, whether that is new signups, free signups, paid members. I don't play revenue. I don't play around too much in the reporting, but I am starting to. So, but the membership manager can definitely give you information on what's going on your site. And for a demo for most of that, if you tune in on March 27th at 11 a.m. Eastern, we're going to have Ansi talking about supporting your membership site success. And in that, she will go over the cart abandonment, refunds, and her role in that side of order management that she handles.
Very cool.
Okay, so then customer success is another aspect that your membership manager can help in. And what is that? I mean, what does that even mean? What can they do for you? So your sales inbox, if you have a way for member or potential members to reach out to you and ask questions, for us, it's our contact form. Myself, Ansi, Kim White, Kim Coleman, and occasionally Christy will be in the sales inbox answering your questions. Account inquiries. A lot of times these account inquiries are going to be along the lines of what price am I renewing at? If I purchase now, what do I renew at? When does my membership expire? Does it auto renew? How can I change my payment method? So these are all different things that it's really nice to have that human behind the email answering these questions. Affiliate program management, that's something, and I spelled management wrong. That is something that Ansi handles mostly for us. I do the affiliate payouts, but we have a application that is filled out, and then Ansi would approve or deny the affiliate program. A lot of what I'm saying, it sounds like we have a lot of team members that are handling these things, but it is possible for it to be a one-man job, and you may not have all of these aspects within your membership site at this time, and you may grow into it. So don't freak out. It's okay. Curating case studies and testimonials. That's something else that the marketing and sales team does for Paid Memberships Pro. This can be just like testimonials, definitely, of just getting people to submit great things about why they love your membership site. Case studies is going to be very dependent on your niche that your membership is in. For us, we love to find case studies on people using Paid Memberships Pro who have a really cool site. Definitely showcasing one of our top 7, 8 use cases that we have. So that's something that the membership manager can take part in handling and putting all of that in line for you. And then level specific tasks. And this can be a wide variety of a lot of different things. Specifically at Paid Memberships Pro, recently, late last year, we launched a lifetime deal for our plus level. And so that does come with specific tasks. There's a discount code that's required for every single person, or almost every single person that's buying this lifetime, that has to be created. After they purchase, we have to add them as a lifetime member with a user field That way we have in the back end that they are a Plus member that does not have a subscription and they paid for life, just so we can easily glance at that. We have to manually add them to our kit, formerly ConvertKit mailing list. That way we, if we ever need to email the lifetime people specifically, they have their own special list because they're not a specific level. We use our Plus level and we use a discount code for that lifetime membership. And then another manual process is after they check out, we email them, inviting them to the exclusive Slack channel that we have created for our lifetime members. So there may be ideas that you have around specific levels that need that manual process after the checkout.
Yeah, I mean, you can expand on this just for what your own business is about. Like if you do coaching, your membership manager could help facilitate the scheduling of the times that you meet up with people. If you sell to an enterprise or a corporate account, you really might just assign an account manager to them and just always be checking in for those higher ticket memberships. Like, how's it going? How are things? Are you utilizing the services? Are you having any friction getting your team members into the course and things like that? So ours is not as hands-on, I would say, but if your membership is more hands-on, that manager's going to be able to do all of that nurturing as part of that customer success type hat that they will wear.
Yeah, exactly. And that can be a big benefit that goes a long way of just having someone essentially kind of hand holding the person through their life of your membership.
Very cool.
Operational tasks. This sounds like a big category. It kind of is, but it's not time intense things. So internal team operations. For us, that means reminding the team when we have an all team meeting, like 30 minutes prior. We actually had one right before this open office hours. So Christy had put a team message out that said, hey, in 30 minutes, here's the Google Meet link for you to join our team meeting. And different notifications like that in the internal team operations really just helps the team stay connected, know what's going on. And it doesn't need to be too intense for those reminders. Or you could also, kind of like our water cooler channel of just like it builds a little bit more of like camaraderie with the team to have a specific person bringing up reminders and conversations. Community management. If you are in the Slack community, you know that I am the community manager. I'm in the community posting about our events that we're having, any new blog posts that we have. I run the async AMAs that we have every other Wednesday, the community meetup events that we have on the Slack community, exclusive for the Slack community. My brain is stalling with this cold weather. And I, with being the community manager, I also review the code of conduct, and I make sure that if there are any code of conduct violations, that I'm reaching out to the member who may have had that violation and reminding them of the rules, reminding them like, hey, that's not what we're going to do here. And, shape it up, or, we'll have to ask you to leave. I haven't had to do that yet, so I hope we keep that going. But it can take a lot to manage a community, and having one designated person like myself, it really does help streamline and doesn't cross any wires and for miscommunication of having one person to handle it all.
We have one question about that Slack. I did share the link for how to join our Slack community. Sensible Senko asks, for Paid Memberships Pro, do we have our own workspace separate from the community?
We do. So there's two workspaces that I'm in for Paid Memberships Pro. We have our internal team Slack that has various channels. That way we kind of know like what department we're talking to, directing questions to who needs to talk to. For example, we've got, customer support channel, management channel, marketing channel, sales channel, social media channel, our water cooler. And then we also have our community Slack workspace. And excuse me, the only locked channel that we have in the community space is going to be that exclusive lifetime channel. Everything else is open. And we also have channels for our individual use cases. So if you fit into a specific use case, even just a little bit, go into those. And that way you can start chatting with people who are doing very similar membership projects that you are.
And like we were talking about Slack a lot, that's not the only community platform that you might be using. You might be using a forum built into your WordPress site or a BuddyPress built into your WordPress site for community. So really the idea of management is, like Sam said, checking out for people that are like offending or doing inappropriate things and keeping conversations going, especially if you're just starting that community. In the beginning, it feels like crickets, like nobody's in there. But yeah, community when it involves your members. And then also what that first bullet point really here is community for the team you're building. So, it might be silly to have a Slack workspace for just you and one other person, but if you can move out of email and into like a focused place, I think your life will be healthier. You'll have like, I know that this Slack space is me doing work and my email might be a mix of personal and work, and then a work thing comes up. So it's hard to create that differentiation. Just like Sam said at the beginning, writing a handbook early on so that your processes are lined up before you bring people into the team, and even maybe structuring your communications in a way that would be better when you're huge, but also fits when you're 2 or 3 people. You won't learn bad habits that you have to unlearn later when you grow.
Yeah, exactly. So the next one that your membership manager can help with is email marketing or sending out your newsletters. This is really helpful when so we have the news and blog use case. So that's likely weekly newsletters or monthly newsletters. I know there have been some membership sites who are doing daily newsletters. That's a lot to handle. So if you have those drafts created where somebody else can put them in your email marketing system that you're using and get those out to your members or potential members if you have an email list, that is a great use of somebody else's time that is not yours.
Yes.
And then setting up sales or pop-up banners. This could be definitely sale related if you're running a sale on your membership, or if you're doing more event-based memberships, then if you've looked on our Payerships Pro website, anytime we have an event, we have a pop-up banner for every single event that you can click on. It takes you to our event page. So that's something that they could help you run. Christy helps me turn on and off the pop-up banners as we have events. So that's another aspect of it. I'm sure there are other uses for pop-up banners as well. I cannot think of any right now.
I think it's interesting, like this list, you don't realize how much it adds up, how much of your time isn't creating content, isn't nurturing your membership, isn't thinking about the ways to experiment and grow or new ideas for your business. It's just these rote, repetitive tasks that I mean, they give you a little dopamine when you do them because you can feel like you're really accomplishing real work. But as the owner and the visionary, your real work is the new ideas and the uncharted territory. And I don't know, start thinking about as you're doing the operational tasks in your membership site, you're like, I could hand this off, or I don't enjoy doing this piece of things. There might be pieces you hang on to. Like I love editing the email in my email marketing system, but there might be pieces where you're just like, oh my goodness, like this will be wonderful to hand off one day. That's tough.
And that's
working on and in the business.
And that's something that I struggle with as I grow as a manager in Payerships Pro, and having Christy now to hand things off to. There are a lot of operational tasks that I love doing. I love being in the weeds of that sales inbox. I love telling the team, hey, we're coming together for a meeting. It's in 30 minutes. We do weekly team updates where at the beginning of the week, we review all of the meetings that we have that week, who's going to be on leave that week, any special projects that we're working on. I love doing all of that. I have had to pass that to Christy so I can grow and move on and do bigger things, working on content, having more ideas, taking on bigger projects. And you really don't realize how much time it takes from you until you pass it. And once you pass it, you're like, whoa, I have
Why
all
did I
this
wait?
time. Why have I been doing this for so long?
Yes.
So it is nice.
We have a family member who was pretty high up, like an owner of the company, and was still creating his own PowerPoint presentations for sales meetings. And we were like, you need to hire an admin assistant. Like, this is not your job anymore, right? Like the content is, but not the actual creation of it. Yeah. We have some questions that are like not quite on topic. We'll get to you guys with any remaining time at the end. We promise Anthony and Graham, those questions are not lost in this thread. I'm just trying to stick on topic. Quinte Landlords asked what our preferred tool is for those handbooks and online training manuals and checklists. We use a combination of things. Sam, do you want to talk about some tools, or is that later in the?
No, I can talk about. We actually
Quick-
don't have tools on here, so that's
quick
actually a
talk
really
about
good
tools.
question.
Okay.
Yeah, quick talk about tools. So, for our handbook, we use Gitbook. Is it still
And
called
this is
Gitbook?
not for everyone.
This is not
It's
for
a little
everyone.
technical.
It is a little technical. You do have there's a learning curve for someone like me who is not a coder of how to update Gitbook and all of that. But even with the new tabs that Google Docs has, like you could create your handbook in something as simple as Google Docs. It doesn't need to be super fancy. You can make it more formal later. The Gitbook is what we use for our team, and we have it broken down into sections for like the entire company, development, support, sales, and marketing. I think are our 5 like branches that we have in that Gitbook. We keep a lot of our information of SOPs on there. The other tool that we use is Trello. Trello has been like, we pay for it. It has been my life. I live in Trello, literally. Everything is organized in there. From that, we have template cards that we use to create new cards from, and those templates have our checklist in there. So we're not always having to refer back to the handbook because we have those cards with those checklists on them. And those checklists are just bullet points to remind us, like when we're putting content into WordPress for a blog post, we need to make sure all the images have alt text. We need to make sure we're changing the author, getting our SEO green lights on with, we use Yoast SEO. So there's like a lot of little things as reminders that we have in those checklists. And then I do know the dev team has started to use in Slack. They've started to use there's like a new to-do list tool in Slack that the dev team has started to use a little bit here and there.
Yeah, there are some productivity tools built into Slack besides just like chat. But really it's like pick one and stick with it, because migrating from one to another, they're not going to all have the same feature set. I've heard of people using Notion. You may have heard of that. I think when Sam mentioned we pay for Trello, like a lot of these tools are free to use and have benefits if you pay for them. But if the benefit of paying for it is going to be that life-changing next level thing for you, like don't be afraid to pay for these tools. Now, a lot of what we're talking about is, we've been a company, this team, 14 years.
14,
so
yeah.
we didn't have this probably for the first 10 years. We didn't have a lot of these systems in place. It's really improving as we've grown and at this stage. So don't feel like you need this much replication of things. But I think, a Trello with some great cards with even if the template for the card itself had the description of the task, if you weren't ready to create the handbook, it can continue to evolve over time. But choosing a tool that you like using, because you're going to be managing it and using it, and make everybody use the tool that you like the best. We have a question about salary. I'm going to save that one because we're going to talk about the hiring piece.
Yep.
And you mentioned tabs in Google Docs, Sam.
Yes.
I can pull up an empty doc.
I was going to say, I don't have a doc that has tabs right now that I can bring up on screen. I also don't know how you create tabs, Kim, because that's something that you do.
It's just in the when you start a new Google document type, in the left side there's like a gray area outside of the page, and there's like the ability to create tabs. So it's kind of like navigation inside the doc, and each page will on the tab will be different content. It's not like a table of contents that's jumping you to sections in the doc. I don't know. Google it, and I think you'll find some help with that. Okay, we're good.
I
We're
just don't
caught up.
have
We're going to
a-
talk about salary later.
I
for
don't have a
base
Google
players.
Doc that we can share with YouTube.
Yeah.
Okay, so now finding and hiring a membership manager. That sounds like a hard task.
Yeah, and I didn't think it was possible, and then we found Sam. So we regularly are like, we just need Sam. Just get a Sam. You need a Sam. Get another Sam. So is that what this is all going to be about?
Pretty much.
It's going to be a profile of who Sam is and who you're looking for, and Sam is not available.
So find yourself another Sam.
Find yourself another Sam. But there are pieces of your work qualities that I think when you're looking to hire this person, you should try to zero in on and see, do they have this quality?
And another thing that I really think is important that we hold tried and true to our hearts is our core values. If you have your core values for your company set, and you know that that is your compass, your true north, the way you want to go. One thing we have learned is you can hire the right person by core values, and you can train them the skills that they need. I have 0 formal education on marketing and sales, but I am the marketing manager at Premierships Pro. I run social media. I run our community. I run the marketing. I run the sales with 0 formal education because they picked the right person with the right core values. And all of my education has been in the field, real life. I'm doing it. So you don't have to find somebody with experience, and don't let that scare you. Okay, so finding them. Where should you even look? You have a base of community members. You have people in your own little network. Look there. Is there somebody that is so passionate about what you do, what you provide, that they would also say, let me join your team. Let me help you with this mission. I think that is like one of the best ways to find somebody is within your own little group, because then you share that passion. And it's interesting that I say that because from the get-go, I was not within the PM Pro group, really, like, or even WordPress to begin with. But the one common thing that we had was helping people get paid. And I grew up in a small business. I was the little man. My family owned it. So that was something that we shared the passion for, is, help out the small man, help them get paid. So look in your community. Consider your budget and resources. So we did talk about salary. Salary is kind of hard for us to really put a number on, solely because it varies. I mean, just across we had a question about the salary. Across the world, it varies. What you would pay someone in the Philippines would never be a good number for someone in the US. Like it would be laughable, to be honest. So I can't really talk about salary in general. I would recommend maybe looking. I know membership manager is pretty niche, but maybe you could look up like the cost of an admin assistant or an intern. Kind of, what would an intern be paid for this kind of work? That is kind of when you're bringing someone in to handle these membership manager tasks, they are more of that entry level admin assistant intern type roles. So you can consider the budget there. With the intern, there's free internships and there are paid internships, at least here in the US. So is it volunteer based? It could be, especially if it's within your community. Is it just a member who's like, hey, I have 10 hours a week, I'll volunteer to do this work for you. So that's something else you could do.
I just brought up the question because that was what for base players only said. What kind of salary does a membership manager command? I'm hearing a lot about people hiring virtual assistants. Any thoughts on that? So we have not tried that route. I would just say if it's the first person you're starting to work with and you don't have strong handbooks, there's going to, and where you're located, it's going to be hard to overlap with them unless they're willing to work basically their night hours. So I think you're going to, from the get-go, I think a US based person between $20 and $30 an hour. And that's going to sound like a lot, but I think compared to what people are able to get working anywhere else in the world, the benefit is that they're working virtually. They're working with you in the comfort of their home, most likely. If they're local, maybe you meet up sometimes. But I think that that's a reasonable amount to expect to spend. And it doesn't have to be a full-time job. This can absolutely be a contract type role. Yeah, there's lots of places to look. If you're considering the Philippines, I think what I've seen is maybe like a full-time job, like $1,000 US a month. But that seems wild to me, that someone could work for so little, but maybe even less sometimes. I don't know. We pay really well, but we also have high expectations, and we want to attract people that want to retain this role and do their best for us. So yeah, it's tough. There's a lot of differences of what you're going to be comfortable doing. So I don't know if anyone has hired someone and wants to share what they're paying and how they feel like it's working for them.
And location,
Feel
because
free, and the
location is a
location of
big
the
one. Yeah.
But I think US based at a minimum $20 an hour is what you would help. And you could probably get a student, like a high school student in some cases to help too. I don't know. It's hard. People don't like to talk about money, but it's reality. And you guys have to know, if you're offering someone $12 an hour in the US to do this for, they're like, I could clean houses for more than that. Like,
yeah, exactly.
give me something else.
Yeah,
you know?
exactly.
Yeah.
So yeah, the salary part of that is it's quite a challenge, but it also depends on, are you wanting them to do everything I just talked about? Because that is almost a full-time job. I mean, I've talked about how I have people who help me with these tasks. I'm not the only one handling our sales inbox. If that was the case, there would be nothing else done. There would be no events. There would be no social media, nothing, because I would be in that sales inbox. So it really depends on how much you want them to take, how much they need to take, and where you are in your membership as well.
Yeah.
For needing a role like this. Cool. Okay. Well, that was my next point. Assess how complex the task is and at what scale. So literally everything I just said. Apparently, I wrote these slides. And again, seek internship opportunities.
It's like we were proceeding the future.
Engage in
internships. Can I just add how we did interns through a vocational technical school in our city? So if you live in a city that has a few different school districts, maybe they each share a vocational technical school, or they have a few. We have two in our county. We have two different options for that. So our school is very robust. There's loads of different disciplines in each one. It's, you might traditionally think VOTech would include things like plumbing and heating, but it actually has a lot of more professional careers and people that are trying to learn design or journalism or computer science or engineering, all kinds of things that they would appreciate very much an opportunity like this. And I know with our region, there are also some ways to get county programs to pay them for their time that working with us. So like they could be paid through another program and we would offer the training and the skills. So look into that. It does take more time probably, and maybe you're working with someone younger and you don't retain them for as long, but maybe it's a way to start.
Okay, yeah, and that kind of goes into my next point of engage in your local communities. So for at least I know in Florida, high schools have a program that they have to earn so many hours of like volunteer work. And so if you have a nonprofit membership, that could apply to their volunteer hours, which allows them, if they have the high enough score on their standardized tests and enough volunteer hours and an essay and some other requirements, college is paid for.
Oh, wow.
Hands down. Like completely paid for. Up until I think their bachelor's or even their master's degree, like however far they want to take it. So that's a great program. You can look at your local high schools, at least in the States. And then, community colleges usually have a job board. So there's different aspects there. And then network within professional communities. So one way that I've seen is for WordPress specifically, WordCamps are a big part of that community, and there's always a job board up there. And at those types of events, you have people from design to marketing to the developers to project managers. So you can look at professional communities that are run. Is there if you're a coach, is there like a big coaching association that has a meetup event? For me personally, I would love to go to QuiltCon if I was looking for someone for my quilting membership site, which I don't have. But if I did have one, I would love to go to QuiltCon and meet people, and maybe I'll find someone who can help me with my membership site there. So those are all really good options. And then now we go into our demo. Before I start the demo, do we have any other questions to answer, Kim?
Yeah. So Paul asked, how do they change the recipient of a membership checkout email? I'll post a link to a tutorial on this. The tutorial I'm going to send you is to BCC an admin on additional email. So you would still get a copy, and then this additional team member also would. And we are thinking about ways to make these updates easier for you and settings based rather than code based. So, okay. And then someone asked about Upwork and Fiverr for finding people. I think Fiverr, in my mind, is more geared toward isolated projects rather than long-term contract relationship with someone. But it's possible you may find someone on Fiverr that you do a project with, one specific thing. Let's say you were trying to do a cold subscribers win back kind of emails thing, and you had it all. You wanted someone to run that for you, and you're like, hey, do you want to make this more engaged with us? That would be possible. Upwork, I think, is also somewhat project based, but might also offer that way to get someone on a longer term thing. Yeah, I don't know.
I personally do not have experience with either of those.
We've worked with Fiverr just for projects.
Yeah, I think I hired someone from Fiverr once to create a embroidery design for me because I don't know how to digitize.
Oh, yes.
I wanted to digitize Nugget so I could stitch out Nugget and embroidery.
My
And so I
Christmas
did, and
ornament.
that was really, yeah, your Christmas ornament that I made you. That came out really well, but that was a one-off project that probably took them an hour to do. But other than that, I haven't worked with anybody that more long term from those types of things.
And then we have this question, membership business consultants to help them up their game. I know most of the ones we work with are more designed under the technical side of things, but growth itself, there are communities that are focused on people running subscription businesses, like the Membership Geeks, is it called?
Mm-hmm.
And they have a fairly active Facebook group. I mean, come in our Slack community and ask these questions, and we'll all help each other level up. But I don't know, strictly for subscription business consultants that would work with you on a 3-month engagement, let's say, to say you could automate this. You could hand this piece off. Let's help you write these handbooks and things like that. I don't know. I've never seen one. That's a business Sam can start in your free time.
In my free time, yeah, that I don't have. Cool. Okay. So let's go into the demo.
Do you want me to remove your screen, or you're good? Oh, you're good.
No, I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. Okay. So we have not seen this site in a long time, but this is my Must Love Dogs demo site, my personal little playground that I have here. Okay. So first, we actually want to just get the add-on. That's going to be the big step. So membership manager. We're going to get this to work. No. There it goes. Okay.
That was weird.
Install. Yeah, that was weird. We're going to install, and it's not going to let me activate it on this screen.
Something about
we go.
InstaWP.
I know.
It
It's
doesn't like
I don't know why it doesn't do that,
to-
but that is okay.
InstaWP.
Okay, so if I remember from the documentation, which I do not have pulled up, this is a plug and play. So I've downloaded it, I activated it, it's ready to go. I can make somebody a membership manager. So I'll go into my members list, and we'll just say that Dolores has decided to be a manager for me. We will have to go into the edit user screen because it is a WordPress role, not a level. Oh, that's funny. Apparently she was my test. But you are going to change the role. Typically it would be subscriber, and you will change the role to membership manager. And by doing that, that changes what Dolores is going to have access to. So we will update the user, and then we can use switch to, and now Dolores actually does see our WordPress admin bar, which typically is not shown to subscribers. I have that hidden for my subscribers. And if we go into the back end, Dolores has access to Pay Memberships Pro in there. So they can go over the members list. If they needed to refund an order, they could go. I deleted people, and I didn't delete orders. They could go into the orders list and they can refund the order. We did have a question about approvals. So if you're using the approval add-on, you can give your membership manager access to approve or deny members based on their application or whatever questions they need to answer. Or if they don't need to answer any questions and you just want to make sure like they're not spam, they can approve and deny those people.
So this one right now, Sam, this person couldn't do like the blog posts for you, let's say,
No,
because our membership manager role
Not right
doesn't
now.
include edit posts. So it's what we're talking about is really under the hood are called capabilities in WordPress. So what capabilities does this user have? And the role takes all of those individual capabilities and groups them and gives it a name. So we grouped all of the capabilities that are needed to get to all these screens, gave it a name, membership manager. But Sam's gonna keep going. I don't want to give too much away.
So,
Yeah.
So
So
that
you
those are
understand
the
what you're seeing
capabilities.
here.
They do have access to some of the settings, or I think most of the settings.
Mhm.
So this is not like give them the manager role and then let them be free in your Pay Memberships Pro account, because there is some things they could do. Like they could change your payment gateway. You probably don't want them doing that unless you ask them to do that. So there are things, advanced settings that they could change. So you want to be very specific about what they should be doing as a membership manager, what their job is and where they should be going. But with the capabilities, I wanted to show you guys how to A, see what capabilities they have, and B, how to change the capabilities and the way we recommend changing it. So with that, I have to switch back to myself. That way I have an admin and I go back to all of the functionality of my WordPress site.
See how many more items show up in that left side. Sam has the administrator role.
So I have access to all of the things.
Sam or Ryan, what you're asking, that's what Sam's going to do just now.
Yes, that's what I'm going to be doing.
Certain screens.
Okay, so to do this, we're going to get another plugin. And the plugin we're looking for is on the WordPress repository. It is going to be Edit User Role. And it is going to be this one with the masks by Valdemir.
It's a little scary. I don't know why.
It is a little scary.
I just like V for Vendetta. I don't know something about it. I'm like
install and activate that role. And now when we toggle to our users, there's a user role editor. So we're going to go into that. And this is where you could change capabilities for any of the WordPress roles. We do have our membership manager listed here. And then when it did load, it checked off the ones that the add-on creates the membership manager with the capabilities. Now, here's pro tip. Do not change this membership manager role and its capabilities right here. You want to duplicate this role and then change it, because if at any time we update the add-on and we change the capabilities, there is a high potential of anything that you add being wiped out and overwritten. So you want to duplicate this role. But this is a good way to see what the membership manager can do in Paid Memberships Pro. And one thing I also really love about this is show capabilities in human readable form. You do not have to recode. You don't have to understand that. It just changed it to what it actually kind of means that it does, which is really nice. So I will add role, and you have to name it. So I'm going to say my manager, and the display name will be membership manager 2, just so we know that it's a copy of it. We're going to make a copy of membership manager, and we will add the role. Okay, so now the membership manager 2 is the one that we want to edit and change. So let's see. Ryan wants it to be more secure, and we're removing access for things like payment gateways. Cool, we can do that. So in this list, I know it's kind of tiny, and I apologize, but this is all of the PM Pro functionality. And so we're going to look for the ones that, let's see, we could remove email settings. They don't need to do email settings or email templates. You may want them to update your membership levels, whether they're disabling signups or not, depending on your memberships. We could leave that. Okay, PM Pro payment settings, we could get rid of that. You may want them to update user fields, so I'll keep that. And then let's say we want them to be able to update like our posts and pages. And I didn't actually read through this, so I'm gonna have to actually find them. Okay, here they are. Edit pages, edit posts, and let's see, create posts. That's a good one. That's something Christy does. Yeah, we'll go with that. Okay, we'll update those.
And I don't know exactly, some of these capabilities inherit other capabilities. So create posts, I think, is like inherited from edit posts, but I'm not entirely sure. There is documentation about this in the WordPress developer handbook that we can find.
Okay, so now that we have that, I'm going to go into my memberships. I'm going to find Dolores, and I'm going to update Dolores to be my membership manager 2. And after I save this, we will switch to Dolores to see what has changed.
Please work, please work.
There we go. Okay, so Dolores has
nice.
Post, pages, reusable blocks, comments, membership. If we go into membership settings, the menu has decreased. So I'm trying to think about, okay, we definitely took away payment gateway. I guess we took away security, or maybe security doesn't have a manager capability. I don't know about that one, but that one's missing.
And design is missing too.
Design is also missing. But do those have capabilities? Did we add those in?
I don't know. I think they do.
But those are the ones that are
membership
definitely
manager
missing.
Needs to be updated to support them.
Oh, that's true. I don't know when the last time this add-on was updated. But so that did work. And so that is how you're going to want to adjust any capabilities your membership manager has by duplicating what our add-on creates and adjusting it and customizing it for yourself and having that separate role. Am I missing anything? I don't think I
No,
am.
that's perfect. You did
Any
it.
questions?
Yeah. Sensible Senko asked about group managers being able to see stats for child accounts. This would not work for that. It really depends what those stats are. You would probably need custom dashboards for that or custom group functionality on the group account manage group page. If it's stats from other plugins, like let's say you were using Lifter LMS for courses and you wanted the group manager to see a performance and an action in the course, like this wouldn't work for that. It's not so much that it couldn't control what they could see in the admin, it's that it wouldn't, there's no like filtering of which users they'd be able to see information about. So it'd kind of be an all or none. There's no capability that's like only show level 2 members in the members list. It's the whole members list or no members list access is the capability. But good to think about that in the future for us. Thank you. Ryan, you asked about whether we've used the members plugin or publish press capabilities. I don't personally use them. I know there are people using Paid Memberships Pro that use the members plugin. There's some duplication of what Paid Memberships Pro does and what the members plugin does. And members is owned by the people that own and run Member Press. So there's some reasons that members is maybe doing more than you need. I know they have like a short code to create a login form. You don't need that. I like that user role editor stays in the lane of role and capability management and doesn't try to do much beyond that. Their members has some like content protection. So it just might introduce a little bit of confusion with those overlapping features. And I have not used Publish Press's capabilities features, but we know the people at Publish Press and we like them. So maybe that one is one to recommend instead.
The other thing to note here is different member plugins do this differently. For Paid Memberships Pro, levels and WordPress roles are not one and the same. They're very different things. For the most part, your members that have membership levels, you want them to be a subscriber in your site, and that's their WordPress role on their user within their user meta. And levels are something that the user holds. So we do have a blog post, Kim, if you want to find it, about roles versus levels. There are, I want to say it's MemberPress who rather than levels, they use roles to restrict the content. So if you are coming from MemberPress and you have that in mind, just there's a little bit of a mind shift there that there's two different aspects that we have here. It's levels and then your roles. Your membership manager can hold a different membership level and then you change their role.
Confusing. I'm sorry.
I know it's really confusing. I'm trying to make it not confusing. But like, for example, I'm an admin of the PM Pro site, but the level I hold is what we call VIP. So which is not offered, but it's a special level. I think like Jason holds the plus level and he's an admin. So you have your roles and you have your levels and they're different. And if I just confused anybody, I'm very sorry.
Read the article. We hope that it unconfuses you. Yeah. Some people had a negative experience with Membership Manager role add-on where the role was rebuilt when the plugin updated. It's just such a challenge because like we just noticed maybe the role isn't updated to include security and design settings. So when that role's capabilities need to rebuild and we can't detect how you've modified it. And I apologize for that. And I don't know how we could better denote that in the admin. I think that it's written about on the documentation page for the add-on, Sam.
It is.
Yeah.
It is.
I don't know, just detect if they're using any of these other plugins and then make an assumption. I don't know what the rules be around that, but we will try our best. We try not to do things like that break things, but it's sometimes necessary.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool.
It looks like Ryan says that they utilize the roles for membership level add-on. We do have that to where when a person signs up for a membership level, they are assigned a different role or a customized role. So to get even more confusing, it is possible to do that.
Yes.
I
think the previous question that was asked about approvals, like you said, Sam, you would use a similar interface that Sam used to modify the membership manager roles capabilities and just validate that it has the approvals add-on capabilities. The approvals add-on, once it's installed and activated, will have more items in that list of all the capabilities someone can do. So you could add those to your custom role as well if you wanted them to handle approvals for your site.
I can try to get it real fast.
Very cool. While Sam's looking that up, I will do what Sam usually does, but not as well as Sam, and talk about what else is coming up. If you want to be notified in YouTube about these upcoming events, you can like this video and then also hit subscribe to the channel. That way your YouTube experience will include the upcoming live events and notify you of what's happening. The next event we're running is 2 weeks from now, and it's the
2 weeks.
2 weeks. Is it 1 week?
It's next week.
Never mind. Okay, next week, same time, same place. This is Kim couldn't do the last event because life, and we brought it back. It's open office hours on winning back members and re-engaging old members. We have a lot of strategies you can consider, and these are great strategies for your membership manager to take on. So watch that, and then you'll be like, hey, like this is a reason to hire someone to keep those members that might have accidentally churned or members that intentionally churned, get more information from them and try to re-engage people that had been former members of your membership site. All of this information is on our site at paidmembershipspro.com/live. I will put the link here as well. Cool.
I'm not seeing any capabilities to add. I see a different role. PM Pro approvals, PM Pro membership.
Did it already get added to your
approvals? Let's go back here. PM Pro, approvals. It automatically added.
Okay.
And I didn't even see that because I was looking for one that was not checked.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I wonder if that used to be active in this site. I don't know. Our dev sites are always a little bit confusing playgrounds. I don't know. Yeah, so we're live with the Win Back and Reengage next Thursday. Next Friday is a Coding with Sam event. They're very fun events to attend. If you're in our Slack community, you'll get a 1 day prior tip about what's the topic's going to be for that event. Yes. That live page has all the upcoming events, both these public events and then community-only events that you can become a part of. I think I did my job.
There is a exclusive community event next Tuesday afternoon. Okay. So if you're not in the community right now, you're going to want to join so you can join that event.
Yes.
But I think you did your job. Good job.
Thank you. I know someone had an early question. They're just, where do I start? Reach out on our contact form and let us know where you're at with your setup of Paid Memberships Pro, and we can give you some good links. I don't know if in the remaining minute we could give great information about that, but if you have a specific question, you can send us that contact form message.
I will say if it's very, very beginning and you haven't even gone through initial setup, we do have an initial setup course on our Paid Memberships Pro /learn. We also have that same documentation under the documentation setup. So if it's very, very new, before you even go through the setup wizard and downloading the plugin, we have all of that information. Yes. But if it's a little bit more in depth, we can guide you better through our contact form for sure.
Very cool. Quinte landlords, also reach out about that. We can give you some some advice. Tell us kind of what your members only section will include, and we can give you good information. I don't know if you manage like a homeowners association or if it's more for if you are a landlord, if it's for all the people that are renting from you in a rental community or at different places. Sounds like you'll probably need like a documents library is pretty common, maybe a calendar of events, maybe a form to request maintenance, maybe a form to request to use a shared so the landlords themselves join and learn about being landlords for you. Yeah. Okay, cool. Not the renters themselves. Cool. Yeah. So send some kind of rough info what you think you want to include in it, and we can get you some recommendations of if you need other plugins or content types to use for that. Yeah.
Also
You shouldn't
include the
have to
page builder you're
yeah.
using too. That could change the documentation that we send you.
Yep. Very cool. Thanks, everybody. That was
Is that it?
awesome. All right. Yeah, I guess I'm going to click end stream. There's no countdown to this. It just happens.
There's
We'll see you
no-
all
no.
next
Thank
week
you,
on
everybody.
Thursday. Bye.